Today I'll explain you about Java database connectivity, that is JDBC type 4 driver. Now the basic purpose of JDBC is used to convert JDBC calls to database calls and database calls back to JDBC calls. Now coming to the type 4 driver, the type 4 driver may be a pure Java driver which implements the database protocol. Now here we are using a separate protocol in order to connect to the database to interact directly with the database. Now this type of driver does not require any native database library to retrieve the record from the database. So there is no need of any other additional library files to be installed. So if you have a database protocol, that can be used in order to communicate with the database directly. In addition, the type 4 driver translates JDBC calls into database specific network calls. So whichever database you are trying to connect, its specific network calls are being generated and connected to the are connected to the database. Now coming to the architecture of type 4, here again we are writing a Java application where I am using a JDBC API like java.sql and javax.sql package, and I'm making a JDBC call, and that call is been given to the type 4 driver, that is Java to database protocol driver. Now this driver responsibility is to convert your call to database specific network protocol and generate a database specific call and put onto the database server for execution. So whichever database requirement the client has given, that sort of specific DBMS specific network protocol is generating a DB specific call, so that the concerned database is going to execute the query and the response is sent back to the driver. Again, the driver is sent back to the Java application. So here till this particular dashed line, you can see it's the client side and it is a server side. Now the type 4 driver prepares a DBMS specific network message and then communicates with the database server over a socket. This type of driver is lightweight and generally known as a thin driver because we don't have any intermediate layers here. Directly through some protocol, we are able to communicate with the database. So in that sense, here since the number of layers are being reduced, then that is why it is called as a thin driver, or it's called a lightweight driver. Now the type 4 driver uses database specific proprietary protocols. So that is nothing but proprietary means vendor specific protocols are existing for communication. Generally, this type of driver is implemented by DBMS vendors since the protocols used are proprietary. Proprietary means only for a certain vendor only that particular drivers have been or the protocols are being used. We cannot use that particular thing for some other vendors. Now coming to the advantages of type 4 JDBC drivers. So we have the advantage like it serves as a pure Java driver and it is auto downloadable. Since we are able to directly communicate with type 4 driver to database directly without any intermediate layer or intermediate server, it is called as pure Java driver, and whatever the driver upgradable files are there, that is auto downloadable to the respective systems. Does not require any native library to be installed on the client machine. So that's the best advantage what you're getting. And use database server specific protocol. So we have already seen that type 4 is converting your JDBC call to the network specific call by using the database server specific protocol in order to communicate with the database, and does not require a middleware server. So that middleware layer has been reduced. Now coming to the disadvantages of type 4 JDBC driver, it uses database specific proprietary protocol and is DBMS vendor dependent. So whenever you are trying to use a proprietary protocol which is only for a certain vendor, then other vendors cannot use a particular communication with the database with a particular proprietary protocol. So every individual vendor need to have their own proprietary protocol, and by using that only they need to communicate. So here we say like it is a DBMS vendor dependent. And what are the examples of type 4 JDBC driver? Now it has been a thin driver for Oracle from Oracle Corporation. Then WebLogic and MS SQL Server 4 for MS SQL Server from BA System. Now these two are coming under type 4 driver. So I hope I have given some input on JDBC type 4 driver with advantages, disadvantages, and the examples. So if you like this video, please subscribe, do comment and share it with your friends. Thank you.